Hello there everybody, welcome to the next Speedrun Interview. This time I'm interviewing someone named TheHaxor. Alright, let's get started.
Hey guys, I'm TheHaxor. I've been asked to answer some questions for you, so let's get started.
Why did you start speedrunning?
Well, to be honest, I found speedrunning videos on YouTube, particularly by Summoning Salt, who does a history of a lot of different world records. And I watched pretty much the entire catalog and thought it was interesting. And then from there, on some of the videos, I started following some of the streamers, that stream live on Twitch. One of which being Mitch Flower Power. So I watched him pretty extensively, as well as like Cool Kid and Cypher and Oats and Goats and people of that nature, Zost. And but in particular, I was watching Mitch daily because SMB 3 when I was a kid was my favorite Nintendo game. So after watching him for a while, I figured, hey, why don't I try to do this? And he had a ROM hack competition where it was like a beginner ROM hack he made of SMB 3, and I joined that and speedran in that, and ended up getting second. I was first for most of it, kind of got past at the end. I was kind of going for some ridiculous strats to try to really lower the time down, but I ended up getting slightly beat out, and then from there I started speedrunning the vanilla game. So I really owe a lot to the start of my career in speedrunning to Mitch.
What games are you currently speedrunning, and what games do you plan on speedrunning in the future?
Right now, I'm still speedrunning Mario 3. I still have unfinished business in that game. I do have, there's some things that I want to hit in that game. I want to get another warpless PB with no hands. I've wanted to get a vanilla world record as well in that game. But also, I kind of want to move on at this point, too. I've been speedrunning for like 2.5 years. I also do Mario 1 speedruns. I've done both warpless and any percent. I do want to go back and lore both those times, actually. And then I want to pick up the other 2D Mario games as well. I want to pick up runs in SMB2 US, SMB2J, SMW, and then maybe like someday in the far-off future, SM64.
What glitches, skips, and or tricks would you say has been the easiest and also the hardest for you to perform?
I think for SMB3 it's not necessarily that it's difficult. There's just a very large RNG component on top of the execution component to it, and that's the S77 pipe clip. So when you ground clip in Mario 3, you have to have a particular speed value as well as a particular subpixel value, set of subpixel values. It's X and Y when you hit the pipe at a particular time. So the subpixel values change over time too. So all that has to come together, as well as you have to hit the pixel window. So you have to execute your jump correctly. So yeah, that in particular, that really plagued me for about 9 months in the 100% category, because you need that trick to get a top time in that category at this point. So yeah, it was probably the one that gave me the most trouble, I would say, of anything, and it's just because it's the combination of the significant RNG component and the execution component. In terms of the easiest, I don't know, I'd say wall clipping was pretty easy to figure out, at least how to execute it, but again, there's a significant RNG component to that in terms of whether you have the right subpixel value. But, that was something, it looks impressive, but figuring out how to actually execute it didn't take all that long. But again, we have ways of manipulating your subpixel value for that particular trick now. So, working on that, I'd say it's one of the easier ones to perform, assuming you have the RNG component working in your favor. Well, it's kind of RNG now because we do have a subpixel manipulation for it. So it's not really RNG. You kind of have control over it, even if the execution of that manipulation can be a little tricky.
What games were you shocked to see others speedrun?
Honestly, SM64, I'm always really surprised at how good people are at that game, because it's just the movement in that game is insanely complicated. The camera control, all those things are just so difficult. Playing through the game casually, it makes you really respect how good the top level runners are at their camera control. It's insane. The camera is so bad in the game, so I mean they've really figured out how to control all those factors that kind of, you know, would give most casual players a lot of trouble. I know it did for me when I played through casually, so that's definitely one of the more impressive ones as well as Metroid games. I mean, they're like jumping all over the map at speed and doing all this crazy stuff, and I don't really understand what's going on, but I love to watch it. Sonic's the same way. They're moving so fast and doing these tricks and like clipping through walls and clipping through maps and stuff. I have no idea how they set it up, and it's just impressive that they're able to find or figure out, you know, how to execute those tricks and do them so quickly.
What is your biggest goal for speedrunning?
I really want to get a vanilla SMB3 world record, but I mean, it's just, you know, the game is tough. It's so, because I mean you're going against Mitch, who is the best player ever at that game, and all of his records at this point are incredible. I mean, they're not. It's not just because they're world records. If you compare the records now to where they were 2 years ago, I mean, it's just like, it's in another level in terms of what you need to do. It's insane. So, you know, that is probably my biggest goal, but it's also one that's going to be really, really difficult. So we'll see what happens going forward. But, you know, I haven't done any, you know, hammer or early hammer manipulations yet, so we'll see. Maybe we can, you know, do some work in the warpless category. So yeah, thanks for requesting that I interview for you. Really appreciate it, and good luck with your video.
Alright, that is the interview. Thank you so much for being a part of my interview series, TheHaxor. It was great to have you here, buddy. If you guys like to check out TheHaxor on Twitch, then I'll leave a link to his Twitch page in the description down below. Alright, thank you so very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.